Welcome to part one of Navigating Adult Friendships, a part of our Stewarding Your Singleness series. Proverbs 17 and 17 says, "A friend loves at all times." Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the chat.
At the round table, this is
Shantae,
Miranda, Kimberly, Shawanda. Yes, thank you.
and
Yes, Kanye is joining us via Zoom all the way from St. Kitts. Wave to the camera. So thank you all so much, sisters, for joining us, and thank you for the introduction, Kimberly. Got started out good. Praise God. Anyway, and I also wanted to say to our viewers, thank you so much for joining us and tuning in. We pray that something that is said tonight or today, whatever time you watch this, is going to bless you all. The Single Sister Hub is all about stewardship and just being a good steward over the season. And so a part of being a good steward over the season is being a good steward over our friendship. So this is the hot topic for today about adult friendships. We all have faced challenges at some point in our friendships. Friendships can be tough, especially as you approach adulthood. You know, it's not like, high school or, your childhood friendships, because let's be honest, life gets real when you become an adult. And then things happen, as far as like, when you're with your friends, there are different transitions, different seasons that comes, maybe your friend got married or had children or moved away to a different state, a different city. So that brings me to my first question to address you guys, you ladies, sorry, and Kanye. And Kanye, what are some of your challenges that you faced in your adult friendships?
Time.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes I'm just like, I'm so busy with work and I don't even have children and a spouse. So I can imagine like my married friends, how it's hard to make time for people. Because sometimes I feel like I come home from work and I'm just like, I don't feel like talking to anybody. It's hard to be intentional, but you definitely got to try to be intentional to be able to keep that friendship going. So I would say time is the harder part. I think when we're younger, we're looking for like, oh, I want to go hang out. Oh, let me see who's available. But when you get older, you're like, I'm trying to be in my bed by 9:30.
What are some challenges you have faced, or whoever wants to go next?
I would say just as similar to Kimberly time. I think it's being super intentional. I think that is the key thing, because one thing, the luxury of being in school and having friends, you're in school together. So just like you'll have the same classes, recess, whatever. So y'all was at the same place from 7 to 3 p.m. every day. So we're in the same neighborhood, but like now people have the different lives, different stages, different careers, and just timing and all that. So I think intentionality has been my thing. And for me, what I try to do is like, if I think of somebody, I'll go ahead and text them like right away, even just saying hi. And also using stuff like, Marco Polo has been such a blessing to just keep that connection going.
Something I don't like.
But you respond when you have
the time to respond. Yes, and there's no pressure to like, oh, I didn't do this, respond back. No, when you have time, you listen to it and you respond back. So I would say that would be one of like the main things.
That's good. Marco Polo wasn't really my thing, because I think I told Miranda.
Yes.
I said, Miranda, I don't like this Marco Polo. I forgot what you said. I don't know what you said, but it's still just contact, and it's, more face to face. More FaceTime.
Yeah,
it is a good tool.
It is. And I can be honest with, Kanye being in St. Kitts, that's how you stayed connected. Like no time has passed. It doesn't feel like there's that such a distance, between us, things,
Sorry,
so that has been, a blessing. Yes, absolutely.
I know a lot of people that do use that and they like it, so it's a good thing.
Oh yeah. I
I would say life. Let me just say, and of course with time too, but just life because as you grow older, you have more demands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either it's with your family or you're in different positions, or if you may be in ministry, or promotions or marriage, stuff like that. So all of that life just tugs at you.
Yeah.
And then you just, for me, I can say for myself, it's just trying to balance it all.
Yeah.
Because that can be very difficult. And especially when you're trying to also manage friendships.
Yeah.
Making time for others, and then sometimes you just have to make time for yourself because you've been pouring out to everybody.
Absolutely.
I'm shutting down. I'm going in.
Yeah.
So that it tends, and then sometimes it's been intentional. Sometimes you just forget because it's just like I just need to shut off.
Yeah.
Just shut off. I don't want another demand.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then you have Marco Polos. You have text messages.
Yeah.
And now I get to the point where I'm tired of texting.
Yeah.
I'll voice record.
Oh yeah. Me too.
In the moment.
Yes.
Then
Sometimes it's easier.
Yes, it's very easier. So I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I think for me, what I like to do is also schedule time with a friend, like a dinner. So it's like weeks out. That way I can be prepared. Okay, I'm going to be meeting with this person on this day.
Yes.
So it's already a part of my schedule. Don't come to me and say, oh, do you want to meet tomorrow? I'm like, oh gosh, like I need to schedule you in. And so I definitely do that.
Yeah. And to add to that, and it's like sometimes for me, I've noticed it could be opposite sometimes. I remember my friend, he lives in Greensboro, and he called me one day. He's like, "Hey, Miranda, we're going to the movies. You want to come?" And I'm like, "Sure." It was like at 10 o'clock at night, and it took like that. It just worked, and because of course he's not here, so just like, okay. So even like I said, not to oppose you, but sometimes it can work like that way. Like, okay, I don't see you anyway. Okay, surprise. Okay, I'll do it, and it's fun. Spontaneous, yeah.
Tanya, did you want to add?
Sure. And just so I'm making sure I'm answering the question correctly, you said the difficult
the challenges that you face in your adult friendships.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I could be very transparent, I would say it's been it's been a challenge, but it's also been a good thing. And I would say just managing, I'm learning a lot about myself. And so learning to separate my own emotional things when feeling triggered by something, and not learning like owning my own emotions and my own feeling when something comes up. And I think friendships are such a good way to practice healthy relationships. And so it's just been it's been challenging because, dealing with your own emotions could sometimes be challenging, but it's also been good because it allows you to grow. It teaches you how to communicate what you're feeling. It teaches you how to process what you're feeling with the Lord before you take it to the other person. So I think it's been challenging, but it's also been rewarding at the same time.
That's really good. Oh, wow. So how do y'all maintain, I think y'all hit on this already, but how do you go about maintaining your friendships, especially when your friends are going through just through the different seasons, of life? Like how do you maintain those friendships? Or have you maintained those friendships?
That's a really good.
For one, it takes two people.
Yes.
And that's what I'm learning with certain friends. It's just like, I think I put too much into this and you're not reciprocating. So therefore, I just let that friendship just go to the wayside. I'm not going to force myself with people because everybody's busy or whatever. And I don't want to be like that friend that's always like, oh, you're not spending time with me. But I realize the ones who are intentional of giving their time, and I'm also intentional, those are the ones that work and flourish.
Yes, absolutely.
I really agree with that because it's very different for me of like as I'm growing older. There's a lot of, as I'm learning, like Kanye mentioned, you begin learning about yourself. You begin learning of what was 10 years ago, what you would do. Hey, always showing up, always, hey, let's get together, let's do this, planning. Sometimes now I'm just learning, hey, well, maybe let's just go with the flow. Let's just, if, hey, I'm reaching out and, if that isn't reciprocated, then as I'm not going to push the envelope, I'm not like I was 10 years ago or
so
whatever,
good.
because I'm maturing. And when I see that if there's no intentional reach out, but I may be reaching out, then that's where I'm backing up. Now, sometimes I actually had to come into, how would you say it? Like, not truth, but just, be truthful with myself and just be that person where I just had to just maintain of, okay, is this okay? Or is this going to let go? But then also as you're moving through life, you're transitioning where certain things that even for myself, I have to go through, or if I know I'm being redirected by the Lord somewhere else. And sometimes, honestly, I feel something's happening. And for me, in my life, change is happening. I just don't know what's going on.
Gotcha.
And so it's kind of hard for me to put the footing down. So a lot of times for that, as I'm trying to process my own stuff and then having to carry, and if that's not reciprocated, then it's like, okay, well, I know I'm gonna just let that go and just be okay with it. Sometimes it's hard for me because I like to hold on. And I don't really like change unless I can control it. But if I can't, then it's just like I have to, back up from the table and just be okay. And that's something I'm, learning now about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my sentiments are the same in regards to it. At the end of the day, with any relationship, friendship, it takes two people.
Yeah.
It really does. And those who want to be in your life will be in your life. Point blank, period. Because I have seen it where I have seen a friend, get married and it's like still intentional, like, he would say, like, almost basically say he missed me. Like, and it's just like, oh, and and it's just, and like for me, it's just like, wow, marriage didn't change it. It's just like, okay, and I think that is just, so, beautiful. And that teaches me, like, you know what, when it's my turn, we all link in arms together, no matter what season of life it is, because at the end of the day, we all need different relationships in our life. Marriage is wonderful, friendships are wonderful. I can imagine doing life without, my girlfriends and sisters, and all that. So I think that's the key thing is intentionality. And if unfortunately, if some people you don't always get that. And it's like, you know what? God is good. He's still good, and he knows who's supposed to be in your life.
Amen.
Yeah.
I think that. Oh, go ahead, Tanya. Go ahead.
No,
I'm trying to say something the whole time.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead. I was gonna ask you to just repeat the question one more time, if that's okay.
Oh yeah. So the question was, how do you maintain those friendships when you through the various transitions of life?
Okay. Well, I think for me, I have a lot of friends that are married. And so I am learning, or I have learned throughout the years, not to manage my expectations. Yeah, I have learned to manage my expectations, and I find that keeps me less out of the being offended phase. Like, I called you, I text you, and you ain't respond. Not gonna lie, it's not perfect, but I think because I have friends in different stages of life, I've learned to just manage my expectations, because I know I also need grace when I get too busy. Like I was telling Miranda Marco Polo'd me like Tuesday. I still have yet to respond. So
but it's okay. Great.
you see that we understand, like it. But I think just managing my expectations of my friends and giving them grace. Like you said, everybody's going through a different season in life. Sometimes the seasons are rough and they pull away for a second because they need time to process, and just giving them grace in those moments, and giving myself grace as well, because Lord knows I want to be there for everybody and everyone. But I also have to be myself self-aware and know my capacity as well. So just being able to find friendships that are like on the same page when it comes to that has been helpful as well. Like we all have grace for each other. Like me and Shawanda, it could go like a month and we haven't texted each other, and it's no no hardships, you know what I mean? But we have that love, we have that understanding. And when we talk, we're going deep. I just have great friends. I have a great circle of friends.
Yeah. Yeah, I had two things I wanted to mention because I think you and Miranda were talking about, your friends who are married. You said some of your friends who are married are intentional, but I think that sometimes, like when your friends, they transition to that stage, they just don't know how to maintain, and some of them, they don't know how to balance those friendships.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an adjustment.
Yeah.
Especially if it comes with kids.
Yeah.
And so, and like Kanye was saying, like she was able to show grace.
Yeah.
To your
There's grace
to
for
the
them.
to your friend. So
Mhm.
that's what I had to learn. Like
Yeah.
showing grace because
Yeah.
you just don't know. They may be going through a hard
Yeah,
season.
that's true.
Just don't know how to balance
That's
life.
yeah, they don't. Yeah, that's
life gets tough.
tough. Yeah, exactly. And one thing is that I have learned is that it's not perfect.
Yeah.
It may feel perfect,
Yeah.
but it's not.
Yeah.
I think that's the key thing is, oh, it's not perfect.
Until they tell you it's personal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You should be able to tell. You
Yeah.
can tell.
And I think that's why it's so important. I'm sorry, was somebody saying something?
No, you're good.
I think I think that goes back to what I was saying earlier and what is a gift in learning about yourself, because that was one area where I had to check myself, like, am I seeing this through the lens of rejection, or you have to really balance your lenses, like, is this person rejecting me, are they ignoring me, are they ignoring my call, or are they just busy? So just being able to check in with yourself is so important, because one of my closest friends, she has four babies and a husband and a job. It's a lot. And so, I mean, sometimes I have to check her because, she does isolate when she is going through a lot, and I don't like the isolation when I know her. And so she's been doing better in just reaching out instead of reclusing. So, I mean, you also got to know your friends as well, and just know if it's healthy or if it's not, and knowing yourself as well. So,
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So I just that question just slipped my mind, but I know that you were talking about something about like how like we can go weeks without speaking with each other, or maybe a month or two, and we still good. But what I've learned is that everybody is different. Everybody has different expectations.
Yes.
Because some friends, some friends are more. I hate to use the word clingy. I hate to use the word clingy, but some people require like their expectation is for you to reach out to them like 3 times a week, or twice a week, and then some people just I can just hear from you just once a month and we're good. But that is a long time. But still, but I gotta pull up in those areas. But it boils down to expectations. Sometimes friendships don't work out because of it. Because people have different views of what they expect.
That's true. Yeah. For some people, that once a month is perfect. We can
Yeah.
just talk and gather and catch up, and that's good. For other people, just like
No,
really a
that's not how
friendship. Just speak once a month. No,
But
you still really know the person.
but you still have to be intentional.
Yeah, absolutely.
So expectations.
Yeah.
So have there been have you all experienced any friendship breakups, and how
woo,
did that
mercy.
friendship breakups?